Levon has been here multiple times, Sam as well, and Liam came here back in 2009 is what. So, no strangers to Kolkata. Levon is obviously one of the most exciting and top players of the last 15 years. Big fan of Indian food. Even tries cooking it once in a while. And usually the most colorfully dressed. And I'm hoping to see some nice matchups. Sam has also been to Kolkata multiple times. Also a big fan of Indian food. And once was the unofficial winner of a paratha eating contest. So, but he's, by the way, a former US champion, and this year, along with Vidit, thanks to their good performance in the World Cup, in the next FIDE Grand Prix. Liam has been one of the top players. I would single out his 2013 World Blitz Championship. And our fourth visitor who's not here yet is Parham Maksudlu from Iran. Exciting player, and I think it's fair to say even his flight will be exciting for the organizers. So, amongst the Indian participants, well, for me, special is Adiban, of course, because he comes here as newlywed, and I mean newly. He was married yesterday and literally came over. So exactly the situation I was in when I played in Dortmund many years back. I had my wedding, then landed there and played. I was successful, and I hope he will be. Vidit, one of our top players, along with Sam, qualified for the next Grand Prix after his excellent performance in the World Cup. And then, what I like this year is that we have assembled a very interesting cast of juniors. All of them are amongst the top juniors here, and by definition that means also amongst the top juniors in the world. And we're also supporting women. So Harika and Vaishali will play here, and I hope for all the juniors and them, this is a wonderful opportunity to test their skills and hopefully come away with some remarkable results. In the rapid, it will be Arjun Erigaisi, who just finished third in the Tal Memorial Blitz. Murli Karthikeyan, who's again one of our top players, lots of impressive performances. Vaishali will also play in the rapid, and I'm sure I'm going to miss one. And then in the Blitz, we have Nihal Sareen, whom I am not. Nihal, and yeah, I think that's it. So these are Nihal. I think he's really famous for his speed skills. I remember 3 years ago when Hikaru was here and Nihal was playing the rapid event. But Hikaru's first question in the press conference was, why isn't he in the Blitz? So he's very famous for that. Pragnananda, again one of our top juniors, very exciting. And it's interesting. I thought most people will have difficulty with this name, but they find it almost a challenge. So everyone likes to call him Prag, and they remember him effortlessly. And two more juniors, Raunak Sadvani and Gukesh. Coincidence, or all five of these juniors are in my Westbridge Academy. I picked them out because they're amongst our most promising talents. And so I have an extra relationship in that way. I think all of them are simply strong grandmasters, and I hope they will find this tournament, an exciting break for themselves. I'd like to thank Tata Steel Chess for welcoming me in this new role. And also thanks to Jeet. I think Arun finds himself surprised. After all our years together, I've been playing in Baikanse and I know him for literally since I went to play there the first time. But I think it's the first time I'm on his side of the table. So it's a new experience. But once again, it's very, very special to play here in Kolkata. And I hope, despite all the difficulties with the pandemic, we have a wonderful event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was very comprehensive introduction to our players and to the tournament and to your new role as ambassador and mentor to the young ones. It is now time to begin the draw of lots. For this, I already have on stage our tournament director, Viswanathan. I shall also call someone who's been with TS.
That he was talking about. I think you missed your Grandmaster norm by half a point, but soon after you made it. Of course, we all remember after becoming a Grandmaster, you came back to Kolkata and the kind of reception that you got here, which is very, very special. I think with Tata Steel, it was in 2018 that the event started. It was
for the photographers, after we have finished the official part, you can make a picture. We will give it to you this space. So yeah.
Proud we asked Vaishali about the matchup tomorrow. First game against your sister. She said it's going to be a lot of fun. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we already played in a recent Chess 24 event, and yeah, I'm hoping to play my best.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Prad, I have to ask you now, one of the very, I would say, amazing opportunities and thing about this Tata Steel is having Viswanathan as a mentor. What does that mean for you?
I'm part of his chess academy, and I've learned a lot from him and a lot from the academy, so I'm really looking forward to learn a lot.
All right, well, thank you. It's not just you who's learned a lot from the legend, it's of course all of us, and the chess scene in India owes a big thanks to Vishy. And I think with that, you're on. That's all our players.
No,
we have one more, of course.
Two more.
Leading.
Two more.
Okay.
We have still two more to go. It's Levon Aronian and Adiban are still.
I think Adiban is not here.
That's correct, and I'm now picking up his name. So I want to ask Jeet to come forward and to pick up the pawn for Adiban, who is on his way after getting married yesterday.
Actually, that's an interesting point. And Vishy, you mentioned that you went to Dortmund in the same situation. You got married in Aurora and you flew the very next day to Dortmund. Adi is not here, but if there was one advice you had to give him how to handle that situation, what would it be?
This is not the sort of thing you get my advice about. Actually, I was lucky because we married on the 27th, and then we flew on the 30th, and the tournament began on the 4th. So I had a week to recover. But, Adiban does everything at 300%. So
Okay, thank you, Rishi, for this comment. And by the way, number 5 was for Adiba, and it was drawn by Jeet. We replaced him. So, yeah, there is only one more player to go. The number 1 on paper, Mr. Levon Aronian. Welcome again for the third time. There are still 2 pawns, Levon. One is number 9, and one should be, I think, number 7, if I'm correct. That's the one of Prague, so it's correct. And number 7, also correct. So, lucky 7, please go to the stage, and good luck in your tournament, of course.
Well, it's always such a pleasure to have you with us in India. I don't know how many of you were present in the last 2 editions, but of course a huge fan favorite, not only for the kind of chess that Lev produces, the creativity and the passion with which he plays, but also just off the board, the person that he is. Now, Lev, I know that you have a very strong love for this country, and you've mentioned that a lot of times. I have to ask you, what is it that you like about India the most?
The culture, I think the depth in people's, perception of life. I think the spirituality and well, the cuisine, and generally many things. I mean, I'm a big fan. You probably know of Satyajit Ray, who's from here. And I saw his wonderful trilogy. I think it was maybe a year ago, the Apu trilogy, and we spoke about it with my friend who's from this city, Mr. Ganguly, and so yeah, I mean there are just I really like that people are kind and they have something more than what you can see in front of you. There is something inside, and I treasure it.
That's a beautiful answer. Lav, now you've also, this is your third time playing here at the Tata Steel Chess India, and you're back now. The format remains the same, but a lot of fresh faces. How do you feel about the competition here and the young talent that will be playing in the event?
The 2019 edition was probably one of the worst events I played, and it was very educational for me. I understood that I have to work on my Blitz and Rapid, so some failures I appreciate, and this was a failure I appreciated, and I think mainly thanks to that particular tournament that I started working on Rapid Blitz, and I became a better Rapid and Blitz player, which I think I showed in my play in the many events after that one. So what I'm really looking forward to is to be competing with young players from India. I think they're extremely talented, and I really believe, and I think most of my colleagues will agree that the future of chess is definitely in India. I think you have a lot of players of elite level, and especially when you have Viswanathan Anand guiding those young guys, one of the greatest players in our history. I think it's kind of a guarantee.